my name is Millie Daniels. I'm a workers' compensation attorney and a personal injury attorney, and I support Medicaid because Medicaid saved my life. I truly believe that Medicaid changed the course of my life. I became pregnant unexpectedly when I was uninsured, and following that pregnancy, was diagnosed with breast cancer almost immediately, and was still uninsured. And without Medicaid, I genuinely do not know how I would have survived, number one. Number two, I don't know, even if I had physically been able to beat the cancer without having access to all the wonderful care that I did through Medicaid, I don't know how I would have financially survived. And I think the stress of that financial burden and all of the surgeries and the treatments and caring for my brand new baby and all those things, I think it just would have changed my life in a negative way to such an extent that I almost can't even let my mind go there. I was actually only on Medicaid for probably about 16 months of my life. It just happened to be the most tumultuous, crazy 16 months of my life, and it wasn't long after I completed, my first few weeks of radiation therapy, I went back to work and, began, getting privatized health insurance through my employer and have never come back to being on Medicaid. If I hadn't had Medicaid and been able to overcome those financial burdens and get back into the workplace, I wouldn't have access to privatized healthcare. I think that what people should understand is that, at least the opponents of programs like Medicaid, I think they look at the cost, which is absolutely, that's what it is. It costs money, but the greater costs are when we don't lift people up in a time of need and put them back into the workforce, and making them productive earners in our society. For me, I think it's so important that, we support programs in ways that when something wild happens or something unexpected happens, whether that's a pregnancy, the loss of a job, a pandemic, whatever that instance is, that we have a safety net for those people so that we don't end up ensnaring those individuals on government assistance, indefinitely. Becoming an attorney in general, and then also choosing to work in the injury field and still being very, intimately related with the healthcare field on a day-to-day basis, I've learned so much about what Medicaid and Medicare can do for Oklahomans. I mean, it's honestly impressive. There is a stark difference between my clients who have access to Medicare and Medicaid and those clients that don't. I'm able to handle their case in a different way because I know they have this backup plan in worst case scenario. If there's not enough money in the policy, I don't have to worry that this particular client is going to be able to get the back surgery that they need or the heart surgery that they need, whatever it is. And it's such a relief. And it's just, honestly, it's really, really part of the reason I think I'm still very much passionate about the options available to our vulnerable groups of people, because you just never know what's going to happen, and it literally it makes all the difference. For me, the overarching thing I would say to our lawmakers is when they write our policies is to trust Oklahomans. And, I think sometimes we make a lot of policies driven from a fraud prevention standpoint and, almost making it more difficult to access the funds for people. And the point of these funds is that they go to Oklahomans. If we get caught up in red tape and preventing people from getting the coverage who need the coverage because of some sort of a strange technicality, then it's not serving its purpose, So I say, we voted you in because we trust you. We think that you have a decent moral compass. All we're asking you to do is trust us, and, people are not here to abuse the system. I can tell you, it's not fun to have to rely on, a third party to provide something to you. No one wants to do that. It's not fun. It's necessary. And so just trust the Oklahoman people.